Hello Virgo, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of December 4th through December 10th. Now please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Alright, so we're going to find out what the message is, what is the energy coming through for Virgo, what is it that you need to know for this coming week. We've got that devil energy. All right. I think this is going to be a week of really high intensity energy for you. Okay. Well, let's put that into some context. Let's do the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. And that is going to include this mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, whatever you want to call it. We're going to see if that can tie the reading together or, give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end. All right, so looking at this, we've got a lot of major arcana. We've got, a couple of court cards here. We've got some fire. We've got a little bit of water, some air, some earth. Yeah, so it's a pretty balanced thing. But I think honestly, this week is really going to be very intense for you. I think there's going to be this, almost obsessive focus for you. It feels like your creativity is really just like kind of pouring out of you this week, right? And then we've got also this moon card that's crossing your path there. So it kind of feels to me like you're really following your passion. Like your imagination is just so rich and so active and so vibrant right now that it's just kind of pouring out of you. I don't know if you're an artist or something. You're doing something that is just insanely creative, and it really is like you're manifesting all of these ideas and images and these things that are within you, in your soul, in your imagination. I think you're really being extraordinarily creative this week. Okay, this is really insane to me. Having this much energy, this much manifesting whatever's in your imagination. Okay, now you may not be an artist. This could be taking place in your career field. It could be taking place in your personal life, with your relationships. But whatever is in your imagination, I feel like you have a very rich imagination. And it's really nonstop, just like pouring out of you. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're an artist of another type. Maybe this is in your career. Maybe you're a professional, you have your own business, something. But what we see in the immediate future is this 9 of discs. So this really is like you're manifesting this down on this earth plane. Okay. Through all of this devil energy, that creative fire, it's really coming down to the manifested plane, right? The material world. So this is you putting your ideas on paper. This is you building the whatever you're creating, right? Like with the physical materials, okay? So this is you literally putting your ideas down on paper, down on canvas, creating the structure in your business, creating the material wealth from your ideas. It's like you have a direct line from whatever you can imagine, whatever you can visualize, is like literally just showing up in front of you, right? It's that kind of crazy manifestation that is taking place through this devil energy, through this intense fire creativity, this kind of almost obsessive focus that you have, right? It feels like a lot of things are just kind of being, you've got your blinders on. You're hyper focused, like laser focused, okay? And it really is going to start paying off. You're really going to start to see these things manifesting. Again, whatever you can visualize, whatever you can imagine is materializing right in front of you. I mean, it's insane. It's crazy to me. In the recent past, we see this Princess of Swords. I think that this is some kind of an issue in your past where, and I think it feels like this is kind of a non-issue anymore, right? Like, I don't feel like this is really affecting you because of all of this major arcana energy, this devil and this moon card, I feel are overriding whatever this Princess of Swords is representing. But I feel like this is maybe a miscommunication, right? This maybe is somebody in your life or some kind of a relationship that you had in the recent past, I think, that there was some trouble communicating. Somebody didn't quite understand you, right? Or they couldn't really intellectually grasp this kind of creativity that you had, or they couldn't understand what these images in your head were, okay? like what was in your imagination. They couldn't wrap their probably small mind around it, right? And I say that not, I'm kind of joking, I'm being facetious, but in a way it's true, because this is a princess of swords. It's an immature energy, a younger energy. Could be a younger person, sure. But I think they just had a kind of, a narrow view of things. They just kind of had a small mind, right? And I don't think that they could grasp your big ideas, this really rich imagination that you have. I don't think that they were really able to understand it, and not that they were, unwilling to understand it, or that they were just, assholes. I just think they didn't have the life experience or they didn't have that experience within themselves to really understand what you're going through, what it's like to be this kind of a creative, okay? But I don't think this is an issue anymore. But I think this is probably something that you've dealt with in the past. And, maybe you're kind of living the single life now because of that experience, okay? But what I see underneath everything is this Empress card. And this is just really, this is fertility, right? This is like you just producing just nonstop. This, whatever work you're doing is such a like productive, a fertile, a creative endeavor. And this could be success in your business. This could be success in your career. This could be artistic endeavors, whatever arena of life this is taking place in. I feel like you're just very fertile. Like you just keep producing hit after hit after hit. Okay. And, this is a future reading. This is kind of a forecast, right? So this, I think, is probably what's coming. If you're not experiencing this now, this is what the week coming up has in store for you, is this kind of productiveness, this abundance, this fertility. Okay. And it's done out of love. It's done because you really want to share your gift, really, your vision with the rest of the world. Okay. So the Empress card here is you really wanting to show the rest of the world and offer these gifts to the rest of the world, where you really want to share your vision and your gift. Okay. And you're just hit after hit after hit. And it's all materializing. It's all bringing you the success and the recognition and whatever kind of gains, are able to come off of this kind of creativity, this work. And you're just able to really accurately, like, I feel like I have a pretty good imagination, right? Like I can visualize things, but then when I try to put it down on paper or draw it or write the story or paint it, it really looks awful. It looks just terrible. It doesn't match what the picture that I've had in my head. You know what I mean? You've got the opposite problem. You have things that are coming out on paper or in the physical world, right, that are just better than how you even imagined it. Okay. And I don't know if that's something you've always had in your life, or if that's something new that's just kind of coming in this week, but it's this insane ability to really mirror in the external world what you're visualizing inside, right? What's in your imagination, what's in your inner world. Really, really manifesting a lot of this stuff. Now at the top of the reading, at the top of the spread here, we have a Knight of Wands here. I think this is telling me that this might be a new thing. This kind of insane ability to create may be kind of like a new rush for you. It may be something, and I think even now I'm noticing that I'm like talking faster than usual because I'm feeling this kind of energy where it's just like all of a sudden you've got this burst of creativity, this intense energy, and it's just pouring out of you. It's just hit after hit after hit. Like you can't write it, draw it, paint it, sculpt it, create it fast enough. And with the Knight of Wands, I feel like this is something that kind of came on suddenly, right? It's just this burst of energy. So the way I see it is you might as well take advantage of it now. You may try to get as much of it down, on that metaphorical paper. Get it all down on paper now, because you don't know how long this Knight of Wands energy will last. It could be that, in a week, couple weeks, maybe a month, maybe a year, whatever, it's going to kind of settle, right? It's going to lose that momentum. So take advantage of this burst of energy, this burst of creativity right now. I would go with it. Now we're going to move over to the path of the Serpent here, because there's some more interesting energy here. It's all been just pretty crazy so far. But your general energy here, I think, is exactly what I said. You're trying to get as much of it down on paper as you can while you have this impulse, while you have that Knight of Wands energy and this intense creativity. You're in this Prince of Discs or Pentacles mode, where you are just following the impulse. You're just following orders and doing the work, just writing it down as fast as you can, painting it, producing hit after hit after hit as fast as you can, without thinking, without stopping to be like, oh damn, without stopping to question it, without stopping to admire it, without stopping to analyze it or use any of these kind of conscious intellectual activities that are going to get in the way of the flow. You know, you're just doing the work. You're following the orders. You're following the impulse. You're doing the work. And again, this could be in your professional life. It could be in your career. You know, could be at the workplace where you're just suddenly just being just extraordinarily productive, like just crazy productive, right? But I feel more of an artist vibe with you. And of course, we can be artists in the workplace. We can be artists in our career. We can be creative at work in our employment, you know. And then what we see here with some of your relationships, how are you relating to other people? Well, we've got a 7 of Cups. I think that some of this creative energy might get in the way of some of these interpersonal relationships that you have. I think because you're just so much in this hit after hit after hit creative mode that you are not putting that much focus on these interpersonal relationships. And so they might take a hit this week. Okay. And with the seven, I think this is you indulging so much in something else that your relationships suffer. Okay. That's the nature of the 7 of Cups here. And I think you're so much in this Prince of Discs, so much just, you got the blinders on, you're doing your work, you're creating, again, hit after hit after hit, that some of your interpersonal relationships may suffer a little bit. Right? You may not be giving them the attention that they deserve, and it may be that the fruits of those relationships are just going to kind of die on the vine a little bit this week. They're not going to be given the attention. They're not going to be, focused on as they normally would, because we have all of this creative energy this week. Okay, and that's an unfortunate thing, but that's how I see your interpersonal relationships. If you're in a romantic relationship now, I don't think that's going to get the attention that it needs this week, right? Any of your other kind of close personal relationships are going to have to kind of take a back seat this week. I hate to say it, but that's what it looks like here. Okay, something to be aware of. Now, the next card we see is kind of a challenge to you. This is going to be that 7 of Swords. I almost call it the Ace of Swords because I always look at that central sword, that ace. That is your intense focus, your laser sight, your the devil energy, right? The creation, your intense focus that is manifesting through this Prince of Discs, right? You're focused, your mind, you're mentally focused, concentrated. But there's a tendency there with you to kind of get scattered, right? To have distractions, to start kind of going off in other directions, okay? Now we're going to take a quick break here because I need to change the battery in the camera. We will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. So I feel like there's so much energy in this reading that it drained my battery like super quick, right? It's just kind of weird. But the 7, we're talking about the 7 of Swords here. And this is your tendency maybe to be prone to distractions, right? I think there are a lot of things in your life. There are a lot of passions that you have, a lot of things that you're interested in, right? And so it's kind of easy for your mental energy to try to go in like, well, in this case, 7 different directions, where with this devil energy, this moon energy, this 9, everything that we see here today, it's all about maintaining that focus and just buckling down, doing the work, creating hit after hit after hit after hit, and not stopping to question, not getting distracted by any of these other little minor swords, right? Those can come next, right? Those can just ride this wave out. This influx of energy is just so major that I don't know that you're even going to notice these other distractions. It could be that you're zooming so fast that any other distraction just looks like a blur, right? because you have that intensity, right? And I feel like with that intensity, there is a maybe a tendency to dip really, really, really low afterwards. But in this case, I don't see it happening. If we were looking at the top of the path of the dove and we see this Knight of Wands, right? This is like that high. This is like that manic energy, right? Just rushes in. But with this card, it has a tendency, like I said, that when this is over, it kind of goes to a real low, low valley, okay? But we don't see that in this case. We see a 6 of Wands at the end of the path of the Serpent. So we've got this rush of energy with the Knight of Wands, this rush of creativity. It's the most intense, energetic, manic, just crazy energy that we've ever had, right? But at the end, it leaves us with this peaceful strength, this peaceful confidence and vitality. It's like we really get this sense of accomplishment and joy and peace with it afterwards. It's not a low valley. It's a calm, kind of tranquil energy. And with the 6 of Wands, this is beauty and harmony and balance, okay? So it's not going to leave you drained and depleted and in that low valley. It's going to leave you like with a real kind of peace and tranquility and this kind of calm confidence. And it's going to be an opportunity also for you to extend this energy out to the other people in your life, to focus on those relationships that had to take a bit of a backseat. And I think with whatever you're creating, and now I hope you leave me some comments because I'm now just like crazy interested in what you're actually working on or what this energy is going to like allow you to produce. 'Cause it seems really, really intense. Like I can't even describe how intense this feels. I hope it's coming across with the words that I'm using. If you were here right now, I think you would feel like there's just such a rush of energy in the room right now. And I think at the end of it, it's going to just kind of like just calmly disperse through your entire life, to the other people in your life, to the other areas, to whatever these other swords are, right? These other kind of responsibilities, these other areas of interest. And that energy is just going to be so balanced and it's just going to permeate your entire life after this, okay? But that also tells me that this intense rush of energy is not permanent, okay? So take advantage of it while it comes in now, while you have it. And again, if it's not something that you're feeling right now, I think it's coming in this week, right? And just know that once it subsides, you're going to be left with this like calm, assertive, confident, generous, kind of balanced and harmonious and just peaceful, tranquil energy, okay? I really think that's kind of, and it's nice. If once I get that overhead camera, you can see the kind of, the harmony and the synchronicity that I see here, because at the top of the path of the dove, we have this. At the top of the path of the serpent, we have that. So it's kind of like the two major influences on both sides of the coin here, And I think this is a really good way to end the path of the serpent. We're going to take a look at this confirmation card now because this is going to be an interesting one. I have no idea what this could be. This could be some more of this fiery energy. It could be something, it could be some more water energy, honestly. It could be like a 6 of Cups, like a 2 of Cups, just kind of showing the inclusion of these interpersonal relationships, right? The emotional connection that is kind of going to come off of all of this intense period of activity for you, right? And no, this is a 2. This is a 2 of discs. So this is really kind of about the harmony in the physical world, right? So we could extend this to your interpersonal relationships. Sure, we could. And say that there's going to be more balance there, more give and take, right? It's going to be reciprocating. But this is in terms of your physical world. So this is either the change, like maybe all of this work is going to produce a major change in your financial situation, your work situation, your living situation, right? In the physical world, there's going to be some kind of a change coming off of all of this. Maybe this really is your kind of breakthrough moment, and it's going to cause some major changes in your life, okay? So this is the confirmation that all of this activity, it has a purpose or an effect that is extended in time, Okay, so this has lasting effects. It's not just that you're creating hit after hit after hit, and then once it's all over, well, it's just business as usual, right? Life just goes on as it did before. No, this is actually creating some long-lasting changes in your life. This is affecting how the rest of your life is going to go, I think in a very positive way. This is amazing. I'm so excited for you, Virgo. It's like we've been waiting kind of, I feel like really with our last few readings, we've been kind of building up to this, right? I feel like this is kind of the culmination of all of our past readings. I want to know what you think. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think of all this. Let me know how you're feeling. All right, we're going to take a look in the extended too, just a couple more cards. If you want to become a member to the channel, click on the link in the description box. This was your weekly tarot reading for December 4th through December 10th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot, and I will see you next week.